how did you plan that shift from high-paying job to all of a sudden, coming back to India and doing a bootstrap company?
Honestly, when I came back to India, I think only money I had, about 4-5 lakh rupees.
Do you consider your IPO as the biggest success of Route Mobile? I mean, something that you started on your own, watered it for 20 years, it's like your baby, and you then exited. What led to that decision?
I always believe in 3S, which is scale, sensibly to sustain.
Today's guest is MD and CEO of Route Mobile, Mr. Rajdip Gupta. Just like many middle-class Indians, Rajdip also used to work in a 9 to 5 p.m. job, but he managed to break through that 9 to 5 p.m. race and build Route Mobile from scratch. It's a fascinating 20 years of journey of success and failures, both brought to you in just under 30 minutes. It will teach you the spirit of entrepreneurship in its truest sense. Enjoy this episode.
Rajdip ji, thank you so much for giving me time. There are a lot of people who are wanting to leave their jobs and start their own business. And, startup culture in India has been booming in the last 5 to 10 years. What I wanted to check with you is that you left your high-paying job in UK, right? And if I'm not wrong, it was back in 2004.
Yeah.
And you started a bootstrap company, Route Mobile, at that time. What I want to ask you is that at that time, when you left your high-paying job, how much money you had in your bank account, and what was the backup plan if this, startup did not work out? How did you plan that shift from high-paying job to all of a sudden, coming back to India and doing a bootstrap company?
So, Rahul, thank you very much for having me on your show. I think it's a very good question. I was well paid during that time, but living in UK itself is an expensive affair. It's not that you can earn a lot and save a lot over there. Honestly, when I came back to India, I think only money I had, about 4-5 lakh rupees. And I just came with the idea, India is a market, which I believe, especially in telecom.
Right.
And in 2003, 2004, if you remember, it used to be 16 rupees incoming and outgoing calls. Like operators used to charge for incoming calls as well. But I always believed that India as a market has a huge potential, because India has failed to get the advantage of laptop. Mm-hmm. US got that whole advantage of laptop, but I always knew that India will have the advantage of mobile cell phone. At one particular time, India will have more cell phone as compared to anywhere in the world, after minus China, if you see that. So I thought, why can't I build something which will last for long and which will really solve customer problem?
Right.
And the communication and the mobile communication is going to be the next boom. And one fine day I decided, I need to just go back to India. But it's definitely not an easy decision, because you're coming from a middle class family and you got a well-established job in UK, and all of a sudden you say, I'm just leaving and I'm going back to India. And during 2003, 2004, I think 3 years back, it was a dot-com boom got busted and everybody was not investing in new ideas.
Right.
And there was no startup ecosystem in 2004. And the only thing I had in my mind, whatever saving I have, I need to start the company with that, because I can't go and raise fund with my idea. So I think it was tough. First thing I did, I convinced my wife and my family that I'm trying to build something which may work good. If I fail, definitely there was a question, what if I fail? I said, okay, fine. I'm skilled enough to get a job. At least that is the only advantage I had, because I have that kind of a skill. And I said, okay, I would love to fail, try and fail, rather than always think, if I could have tried this. So
you don't want the regrets.
So I really don't want to have a regret. And I came back, and then family said, okay, fine. And my brother is a chartered accountant. He was working with PwC. And I think there was somebody in the family, we live in a joint family, somebody in the family who can take care of the family expenses during that time. And I told my brother also, this is what I'm trying to do. And he said, fine, no worries. You just go and build. Let's try something. And I think that was the story. And it was not easy, honestly, because everybody told me, you are doing the wrong thing. This is not the way. India is not the right market. In 2004, India still have lots of bureaucracy issues, not proper ecosystem. I said, this is the right time for me at least to go and try. And I didn't have enough money. I think I bootstrapped this company in 2004 with a total investment of 1 lakh rupees.
Right.
And from 1 lakh to almost 10,000 crore market cap. That's a story.
That is quite fascinating story, Rajdip ji. When you decided to leave your job at that time, did you give yourself a time period that, you know what, I'm going to try it for a year, 2 or 5 years, and if I do not succeed in that time period, then I go back to plan B, which is to find a job, or
So-
did you not have that?
No, I think I was very clear. Yeah, I'll give 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, because any idea, you should have a clarity about it. If your idea is not working within 1 year, then something is wrong with your idea. And I was very clear, like from day one, this is 365 days. And my day start from day one. And I used to put every single day what I have achieved in 90 days, what I have achieved in 180 days. And that's how I started. And I was very clear, 365 days, if nothing happening, go back to UK, join some company and start working. And then never try any ideas ever, just work. But I think that 365-day concept was very clear in my mind. I will give 1 year only because there's a family also, because
Of course.
I was married, I got my first daughter also. So there is a responsibility also. So yeah, it was very clear, 1 year.
And also, I think some of the people, for example, this is how I started. When I started doing content creation, I did part-time content creation, but my full-time job was also there. And I thought until I scale to a level there, I see some money also coming into, because as you rightly said, there is a family responsibility. Right. I did not, take content creation as a full-time activity. Yeah. Did you start your startup work back in UK
No.
in a part-time capacity, or you just left?
I just left.
Okay.
I just left. I said, I really want to give 24 hours a day
Right.
to my startup, because I really don't want any kind of a disturb, because I'm a tech developer. I built the entire Root Mobile platform myself.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so I'm a techie.
Okay.
And for that, I really need ample of time, because that idea needs to be implemented in terms of the coding. And I said, no, I need to put 100% of mine. And because I need to build the platform, before I build the platform, I really need to go to the customer, but I need to have a solid platform in hand. And I said, no, I am going to leave everything and I'm going to start.
Just focus on one thing and then see where it goes.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2020, I think, if I'm not incorrect, you had your IPO of Root Mobile in 2020. Yeah. And I was reading these numbers here, 73 times oversubscription, 105% of premium listing.
Right.
And IPO market in 2020 was not what, I'm talking about 23, 24.
Right.
Do you consider your IPO as the biggest success of Root Mobile or not?
Indeed, it is, but I think it is the hard work of our team also, right? So what we achieved when the kind of, but before that, we have tried to get listed in 2018 also.
Okay.
And we failed miserably.
What was the reason?
Because I think some of the strategic call which we have taken, we went with one single banker, we really didn't create a competition within the bankers. So I keep on giving advice to all the founders, whenever you're planning for IPO, make sure you have 4 or 5 bankers along with you, not just one. So I think that was one wrong move, and post that we reapplied and we got approval from SEBI, and in 2020 when we launched, we have 5 different bankers.
Right.
And end of the day, we end up meeting almost 300 to 400 different investors globally. And when you have multiple bankers as a part of your portfolio, then everybody will have a competition and they will get multiple investors. And during the first time, I think we met 100 investors only. When you're selling an idea which is very new, you need to go and explain the investor what you do actually and how you solve customer problem. And so I think first time the storytelling was not right, or maybe because of the banker. But when we really went back after this failure, we said, no problem, this is the story we have to build, and we have to tell the story in the right way with the right bankers along with us. So it is definitely one of the biggest day in my life, because as a tech founder, you always need to build something and reach somewhere. And IPO is definitely the main goal. And you go with your family members and you just ring the bell. That feeling itself is...
It's a surreal feeling that you get while doing it. Fast forward to 2024, I believe that you sold the stakes in Root Mobile as a promoter. I think you used to hold somewhere around 57%, roughly.
Yes, 57%.
And you sold 57% of your stakes to Proximus Group. I think it's Belgian-based.
Yeah.
What led to that decision? Because I think Root Mobile was doing really well up until 2024. So why all of a sudden, something that you started on your own, watered it for 20 years, it's like your baby, and you then exited. What led to that decision and why?
No, I think, Rahul, it's a very good question. In fact, in last 20 years, if you see those 20 years, what we did, like we have become the champion of Asia, Africa, and Middle East.
Okay.
There is one market like US, which we failed to scale ourselves, and we have tried multiple times. We invested, we hired people, but we didn't got that kind of success which we were expecting from that market because competition was already there. And with this, Proximus, when they came, reach out to us, and they have a very solid company based out of US called as Telesign. So they are one of the largest CPaaS player in that market. And with idea like, okay, fine. First of all, I'm not completely exited from the Route Mobile. If you see, we got about 6,000 crore exit. We reinvested 3,000 crore back to the holdco company. So now we hold about around 9% of Telesign, Bix, and Route Mobile, which is a main Proximus Global.
Right.
So we, as an individual, I still have skin in the game. So I'm responsible for the Route Mobile as well as for the global group also. So I think that idea of exit is not just because we want to cash out. It is something like, how can I scale Route Mobile to the next level?
Right.
And we really need to have access to the US market. US is one of the largest market for the CPaaS as of today as well. And we failed to. So if I really want to build $1 billion revenue idea for Route Mobile, what could be that? I need to be partner with someone.
Right.
And that's exactly what we did when Proximus approached us, and we said, fine, this is the right story. This story will make Route Mobile more global, and we'll have access to the US customer directly. And that's exactly what this whole deal helped us. And that's why we wanted to have this deal, so that now, if we talk about the Proximus Global, now we operate from 100 countries. As a combined, we are almost a $2 billion revenue group. And now there are lots of synergies. We are working with other companies of the group so that we can get more business from our existing customer of theirs. So all these things really excited me. And when I saw that opportunity, I built Route Mobile, I scaled till here. Can I scale this to $1 billion revenue company? Then this offer came to me, and they said, actually, fine. I could have exited 100% at that point of time, and they have offered me also. But I say, no, I really want to be part of the game. I want to make sure I contribute to the group and to the Route Mobile also. And that's why 50% of our cash out money, we got reinvested back to the holdco.
Right.
So we are very much in the system, and I'm actively involved and doing everything what can benefit to Route Mobile and the stakeholders.
Was there not an option where you didn't need to dilute your stakes? You still hold may not be 57%, but let's say 30%, 40%. Was that deal not on the table at the time?
It was not.
Okay.
We recommended them, so at least you guys take 51%, keep 7% for us, or make it 15% for us. But they wanted to acquire 57%.
So it was everything or nothing?
Yeah, everything or nothing. That was the option.
Okay, so you really didn't have a choice in that regard. Okay, now coming to the current landscape, I think we got a very good backstory now, how you scale Route Mobile from 2004 to 2024, where you then sort of sold your stakes, but then you have indirect route into the Route Mobile. Please help me understand, and I was reading your quarterly results that just came out for Q2 FY26, and there was a loss that the company has made. So I think it's a loss-making quarter for you guys, and there are reasons that I think
it's one of the right.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that you are in a phase where there are you're going through a challenging phase, and what is leading to all these issues, if I can call them issues? I don't know whether these are issues or some temporary setbacks. What's happening right now? Why so much of pressure on Route Mobile as a company?
So I think, first of all, if you see the revenue for the last quarter is definitely much better as compared to the previous quarter. We done fantastically well on that side. There is one of the write-off which has impacted this loss which you're talking about. Is one of. And in terms of share pricing, if you see as a company, there are lots of CPaaS company globally also are having these headwinds.
Right.
In spite of that, we as a company, so we sustain with our numbers, we sustain with our customer. None of our customer left Route Mobile. We are in fact got an advantage of Proximus, where we have been introduced by Proximus with Infosys, with TechM, with Salesforce. These are some of the large accounts which we didn't have before. But because of this deal now, we got all these customers as a part of Route Mobile portfolio, and we have started engaging with them. It takes, any integration takes time. I know the market is expecting us to do much better, but I think market need to also understand we are not going below in terms of our revenue and EBITDA. We are still profitable. We are still making around 300 crore kind of profit PAT every quarter. I think we are, in spite of there are lots of headwind in the market, we are still able to sustain our base with current kind of a customer win which we have. I know, like with a company called as Bix, is a group company. They have a, I think, direct connection with operators, over 400 to 500 operators globally. Our firewall solution is now being sold to those companies where they have a direct access. So they are going along with us to sell our product directly in the market. So those things we will start seeing in coming quarters, how the synergies are panning out. We also took a certain call where we said, okay, the low margin customers should not be served because they are eating lots of our time and bandwidth. And if you see, our EBITDA margin growth is higher now. I think we are almost 12% last quarter. So I think we are focusing more on a quality customer than the quantity. And I think that is the next step which we are working on. And people will definitely see the growth as well as the margin growth in coming quarters.
Right.
So we are on right track. We are on right track and we are doing the right things. Definitely there are certain headwinds, and it is not related to Route Mobile. It is the entire industry. And industry was a little bit confused about WhatsApp, about RCS, and about SMS. So there are multiple channels evolved within 1 year. Now customers started trying different channels. So we as a company, we are a platform agnostic company. In last 4 years, we built WhatsApp solution, we built RCS, email, and SMS also. If you see our new product revenue growth, we grew by 13% in quarter to quarter only. So that is a good sign that the new channel adoption by the enterprise customers are more, and we are getting the benefit of that directly. So now our revenue is almost 400 crore a year only for the new channel of product. So this adoption ratio is increasing every single day, and we already have built the product. Now we need to encash on those products.
Right.
So
you touched upon the headwinds. So I do want to understand what's the challenge right now. I know we have moved away from SMS to a large degree and have gone to WhatsApp, for example, or RCS for that matter. Right now, what is that one big challenge at an industry macro level that your CPaaS companies are facing put together, not just about Route Mobile? And how are you thinking that you can solve that problem?
So I think as I said, the last 1 year is probably customers are looking to experiment different channels. Okay, and WhatsApp is one of the reason. Then RCS and other options came in, and finally, when they realize instead of they going and working with 4 different vendors for 4 different channels, instead of one single vendor with whom they are using, say, SMS, why can't we use WhatsApp also? Why can't we use RCS? I think that thing has changed now. Those customers who went and started using some other platform, they came back to us only. A classic example, I'll give a Fly Dubai in Dubai. So they use all our channels now.
Right.
Okay. So I think headwind was there because certain companies like large hyperscalers like Google or Facebook or Meta or AWS, they started using some other channels to save cost.
Right.
For them also, they need to save cost. So they thought, okay, if I move from this channel to other channel, will I save the cost or not? And then we as a company reach out to them. Okay, fine, you are using this channel. Why don't you use the same channel? We will bundle the deal for you.
Right.
That is exactly the strategy which we are working out right now. Okay, fine, you are using SMS, WhatsApp, RCS, and email. We will give you a bundle option. And I think they love that option. And that's why we believe that our revenue and everything will be going to be. And that's, I think, definitely is a little bit market mix. There was definitely a hyperscaler trying to save money to use other channel, and we really came with a new strategy. Okay, fine, if they really want to save money, we will bundle the entire deal so that they can save money also and then have a better quality as well.
Right. And there are newer ways of authentication nowadays. If I only talk about the authentication, that is only one leg into your business model. So for example, nowadays, you could get authenticated using apps. The code comes in the app. You don't really need to receive any SMS or WhatsApp. Is that a challenge or threat to your business model?
No. We as a group, we have a company called as Telesign. Mm-hmm. So Telesign is one of the largest silent verification company in the world. So we already have a stack which authenticate user without OTP. That is called a seamless authentication model. And we have a product called Verify. So with that product we got in India. because we didn't have that technology. So we got the entire technology for Indian customers, especially the banking sector. So we are already doing lots of POC with banks and the fintech companies where we can let them do authentication seamless, right? So we as a group, we already have the stack, the product. So there are certain products what Telesign or Bex using is like a WhatsApp RCS they didn't have. They're using Root Mobile product there. But Telesign has a beautiful product called as for silent verification. We are taking the entire product and getting back to India so that we can sell our existing customer.
Right.
So that strategy and synergies are going really well now. And we do see we are not just selling SMS as a company, right? We do everything in terms of digital enablement of any enterprises.
Right.
So it can be any channel. We as a company have everything what you need.
Okay. This is very, very encouraging. I'm just going to go back to your personal story. And I just want to, this is fascinating how you left your job and started your business, scaled it from 1 lakh rupee to almost 10,000 crores sort of a valuation at one point in time. If, let's say today somebody's in a 9-to-5 job, they want to leave that job and want to start a business, what would you say to them?
I think it's very, very two things, like somebody, I always believe in 3S. Which is scale, sensibility to sustain, which is very critical for somebody. I think 9-to-5 job is fine. Anybody has a good idea. I think you should not run first for the raising fund. Right. Don't just be in that race, because you are building something for yourself and for your customers. I think yourself and customer is more important than raising fund. If you have a really good product, fund will come by default. Okay. So I think 9-to-5, if somebody really want to do something in this, I think I believe in your vision, first of all. I trust in yourself, which is very critical. Something you're trying to build, first behave like a customer of your own product. I am building a product for the market is a secondary thing. I'm building a product for myself, should be the first mindset. If you convince that this product is solving my problem, then you're doing the right thing. If you're not able to do that, then something is wrong.
Right.
Okay. You need to be customer of your product first, then you go and sell in the market.
Right. Right. That's brilliant. If you were to build a new product right now, I think you've scaled Root Mobile to a very good degree. New startup, new idea, where would you focus? Which area, which domain, which technology?
So I think the tech has now evolved so much. Now everybody's talking about AI. AI is a buzzword. And with the kind of data set we have now, the kind of technology availability we have now, you talk about open perplexity or open AI, the things are evolved, and I think everybody wants to do in AI.
Right.
Okay. And I really don't want to do anything in AI, honestly.
Okay.
I would love to use the AI model. It is a model right now. I think you cannot go and build something as good as what OpenAI has right now. It's a collaboration model. I will use the AI the best possible way in my new startup so that I can solve my customer problem.
Okay.
So that is the main thing, right? Because if I have a data set, I really need good AI model to that. Instead of going and reinventing the wheel and spending 2 years and spending too much money of my investors, I will use some collaboration model with this company and build something really solid for my customers. That thing I will do. And I think apart from that, there are new tech which I still believe is not been discussed, not been really explored well, is a blockchain.
Right.
So yeah, AI and blockchain combination is something which even if I think to do something in future, I will look into that.
This is brilliant. This is very, very fascinating. I think I'm just going to move to rapid fire and ask you a few questions which might be personal, and if you feel comfortable, do reply.
Sure.
Your biggest mistake so far as a MD and CEO?
Yeah, I think the two of them. I think the first one is first failure of our IPO. Then
2018, you talked about it.
I chose one banker and there was a wrong move. Second one, I started a small business unit within Root Mobile, especially in voice.
Right.
And I think that was a miscalculation. And I thought this business is really big and I can scale to the next level. But since I didn't have enough knowledge of that business, I was driving that business based on someone's knowledge.
Right.
That was the biggest mistake. And then I realized, no, anything which I know and I'm good at, I will only invest in those ideas. Okay. So that was one mistake of my voice. And then second one definitely was
IPO,
that IPO.
One secret of building a successful startup that you want to share?
I shared the 3S: scale, sensibly to sustain. Because don't just go for this race of fundraising. You really need to be profitable. You need to build a business which is profitable. Profitability is key, because you really need to make sure you are paying your employees on time, and you don't have this thought every single day, oh, my runway is just 12 months left.
Yeah.
So I think just come out of the runway, just think, build something solid, go slow, but scale sensibly to sustain.
Absolutely fantastic. Customers or shareholders, who do you look after more?
So customer first, because if I have a happy customer, I have a happy shareholders.
Okay, that's very sensible. Indian IPOs in 2025. There's a lot of hype. There is a lot of hoo-ha going on in the IPO market right now. Would you say you avoid those IPOs from an investment perspective, or should you look at them?
No, there are certain good ideas also. Like I will not name, but I will always look for the companies who are profitable.
Right.
Okay, profitability is a key for me to invest in any such IPOs. But unfortunately, many of these IPOs are loss-making.
Correct.
So I will never recommend or invest in those. But there are few companies recently I have seen who are profitable, and they make lots of sense to invest.
Who do you look up to? Who is your role model?
I think it's Narayan Murthy, because I read his books, and I think one thing I learned from that is like scale sensibly to sustain from that model. Profitability is key, and your customer is king. That mindset is very, very important.
Just because we are on the topic, your favorite book is that Mr. Narayan Murthy's? Or?
No, I think it's my favorite is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Right. Okay.
That's the one interesting book I have.
If you were to go to dinner with a famous personality, who would that be and why?
I will love to go with Shahrukh, because Shahrukh's story is a struggle. It's not his father or family has that kind of. But the way he came out of struggle, there's a lot to learn from him. And I think you sit with somebody who's having the same struggle, then you have a lot to share in that.
You have the
connection. But if you have somebody who's just coming from something different background, you don't have that connection.
Yeah.
So if I sit with Shahrukh for 1 hour, I think we will have a lot to talk and discuss about our struggle.
Brilliant. On that note, thank you so much, Rajdipji, for your time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Got to learn a lot about Route Mobile, how you scaled it, and good insights for my viewers. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you.
Thank you.